I'm saying I don't wanna come down from your love. We'll get lost together like we fly. Don't ever let me come down from your love. From your love. From your love.
Hi guys, it's Bree Seasony here. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. Last year around this time, I made a video concerning ENHYPEN Sunooo and discussed the allegations of his members body shaming him. Since then, a lot has happened, and recently a Vlive that occurred on June 19th has drawn the attention of many Engenes and other K-pop fans. There has been a clip from the Vlive of Sunooo, Jake, Nicki, and Jungwon circulating online, and many fans claim that the members openly fat-shamed Sunooo in the video. In this video, I'll discuss what happened in the Vlive, touch on what fans are saying about the issue, and give you my opinion on the situation. First, before we get started, a quick disclaimer. As always, the purpose of this video is to give you information and to create an environment of healthy discussion. Please do not send hate to any of the ENHYPEN members or any other parties. After watching this video, of course, it's up to you to come up with your own conclusion about the issue at hand, and I'd love to see your thoughts in the comments. ENHYPEN is gearing up for their upcoming album, which drops on July 4th, and in the Vlive streamed on June 19th, Jake, Sunooo, Nicki, and Jungwon were chatting with fans and discussing their comeback. At two specific points in the video, Jungwon, Nicki, and Jake commented on Sunoo's weight, which angered a lot of fans. Here, I'm going to show you the full conversations of each of these instances instead of the shortened versions I've seen circulating on Twitter and TikTok, just to give you full context.
넓어 보이는 거예요.
수영 선수 근데 원래 진짜
어렸을 때도 수영 안 했지?
했었어요.
아 진짜?
아
진짜
계속 놀나 보다. 수영이 어디지?
1년 안 했는데 몇 개월 했었어요.
근데 난 진짜 운동 하나도 안 했는데.
형 그냥 약간 타고난 거죠?
예, 약간 저는 진짜 운동
뭐라 하지? 약간 이
뼈집
뼈집이 있어.
아니
약간 밥을 잘 때려요.
밥을 잘 먹어서
약간
중국어는 잘할 것 같아.
아
럭비 약간 그
럭비 하면 잘할 것 같아.
제가 성훈이 형 한 번 치면은 멧돼지가 막 멧돼지가 쫓아가지고 무슨 맨날 올라간다고 맨날
너무 웃겨서 진짜. 아! 맞아. 그 감독님이 성우 씨 이제 끌게요 했는데 안 돼요.
안 돼. 진짜 소리야.
사람이 몸무게가 가장 많이 나갈 때는
So in the first clip, you can see that the boys are discussing swimming. The topic of broad shoulders comes up as that's a trait associated with swimmers. Sunooo comments that he doesn't exercise, but the members respond that he still has broad shoulders, commenting on his body frame or build. And here Nicki adds that that's because he eats a lot. The boys begin to playfully hit him, and later Jake comments that Sunooo would make a good rugby or soccer player because of his build. Sunooo later brings up that when he runs into Sunghoon says it feels like he's being hit by a wild boar. And then later, Jungwon refers to an elephant joke in which Sunooo explains that a director was trying to get Sunghoon to move something, and I'm not sure what this thing was based on the translations or the subtitles from the Vlive, but then Sunghoon commented, "I can't, there's an elephant sitting on it," pointing to the fact that he couldn't move whatever he wanted to move because Sunooo was sitting on it. Later on in the video, at around the 58-minute mark, the boys were fooling around with Bixby, the Samsung AI or version of Apple's Siri. They seemed to be playing a joke or a guessing game with Bixby. When Bixby said, "When a person weighs a lot," Nicki answered, "Kim Sunooo." Like I mentioned before, most of the clips I saw circulating online did not include this full context of the conversations, specifically of the first clip I showed you with the boys discussing swimming and broad shoulders. Instead, the shortened version only showed the portion of the clips that began with Sunooo retelling the wild boar comment made by Sunghoon. The clips I saw usually ended with the elephant joke that Jungwon brought up and Sunooo further explained, basically leaving out the broad shoulders or strong broad build comments. To be honest, I think the conversation here started out innocently enough, with the boys seemingly just commenting on Sunoo's broad shoulders, which is traditionally seen as a positive trait for guys, and his strong or solid build, but the conversation seemed to derail a bit and become kind of backhanded, with Nicki mentioning that Sunooo has that build because he eats a lot, and later Jungwon bringing up the elephant situation, which seemed to be a comment about Sunooo being heavy, after Sunooo brought up the wild boar joke that Sunghoon made. While some fans were outraged by this exchange, others claimed that the boys were just teasing and that this is a normal occurrence for them, even commenting on the fact that Sunoo was laughing too, and was even the one who initially brought up the wild boar situation. Although Sunoo did laugh and he did bring up the wild boar joke, I just want to note that sometimes people do laugh or smile to cope, even if they are uncomfortable deep down. Now obviously I'm not in Sunoo's head, so I can't positively say if he was comfy about the comments or not. In addition, I think Nicki joking and saying Kim Sunoo when Bixie posed the question when a person weighs a lot was just really uncalled for. And yes, I know Nicki is young, he's only 16, and he was probably teasing instead of being malicious, but personally I don't think jokes about people's weight are funny. You never know how your words actually make someone feel, even if they're smiling. I also want to add that idols are already extremely pressured to upkeep a certain physical image, so jokes about their body or weight could possibly just add fuel to the fire. I also want to point out that this isn't the first time that ENHYPEN has came under fire for teasing Sunoo about his weight. As I mentioned before, I made a video last year when similar allegations surfaced. For example, I'm sure you've seen K-pop idols play that game where they wear the mechanical cat ears that move based on your brainwave activity, and your goal in this game is to make the other person react by getting them excited or creating some brainwave activity so that the cat ears will move. There was an instance where ENHYPEN were playing this game, and in order to get a reaction from Sunoo, Nicki said, "You gained a little weight?" There was also an instance where Nicki said that Sunoo looks like Baymax, and more recently this year, Jay commented that Sunoo's body shape was similar to a balloon. Some fans argue that these instances are just playful banter meant to affectionately tease Sunoo. For example, a post written by an alleged Korean Engene was trending #1 on ENHYPEN Weverse, dismissing the exchange as playful joking between the members, saying that in Korean these jokes were obviously just jokes, and saying that if Sunoo was offended, he could speak out about the issue, and that the group should just resolve things amongst each other behind the scenes and in private if need be, instead of fans asking for a public apology. Now, I do agree that this is about Sunoo, and I do agree that if this did offend Sunoo, that obviously the members and Sunoo should talk about it. An apology is in order if he was hurt, but I also do want to point out that all of this did play out in public, so while I don't necessarily think that the members involved owe the fans an apology, I do think that they need to be mindful of what they say on public platforms, because it leaves room for speculation, with fans speculating on whether this is just playful banter or if this is a reoccurring pattern of body shaming. Personally, and this is my personal opinion, I have to admit, as an outsider looking in, this does make me feel a bit odd that Sunoo's weight and body seems to be the reoccurring butt of the joke in ENHYPEN. Like I mentioned before, I'm not Sunoo, so I can't assume how he feels one way or another, and I can only speculate, but I do wonder if he's internalized some of the comments made about his weight. I discussed this with my Discord server members, many of which stand ENHYPEN, and a lot of them pointed out that Sunoo, like many idols, often diets before comebacks, and they pointed out clips where it seems like he really wants to eat but refrains from doing so. There's one clip in particular where he's hesitant to eat cake and only wants to eat the strawberry on top of the cake, but Nicki encourages him to eat some. In the same Vlive that was streamed on June 19th, Nicki encourages Sunoo to pose like he had in a photo where he's laying down, but Sunoo refuses, adding that posing like that would make him look like he has a double chin. So this kind of made me wonder if Sunoo is internalizing some of the comments that are made about his body. Of course, I can only speculate. I also found screenshots of an interaction that Sunoo had with Heesung, in which Sunoo commented that he was eating a lot. Heesung responds by encouraging Sunoo, saying that he eats well and he's healthy, and he even added that fans like that. If this Vlive conversation that occurred on June 19th was a standalone incident, I probably wouldn't have given it much thought. This wouldn't be the first time a K-pop idol or group has come under fire by international fans for commenting on someone's weight, and it won't be the last. But like I've seen a lot of Engenes and other K-pop fans expressing, there seems to be a pattern with other members of ENHYPEN commenting on Sunoo's weight. I of course don't think that the members are being malicious and trying to hurt Sunoo, but that doesn't mean that their words aren't harmful. To a lot of us, the idea of Sunoo being overweight or fat is absurd, but we have to remember the extreme pressure and standards that are imposed on K-pop idols. These seemingly impossible standards of beauty go beyond ENHYPEN and shed light on problematic norms that exist in the K-pop industry and even in the country that produces it. In short, if Sunoo is okay with the comments and finds them funny, that's great, and I don't want the members to feel pressure to change how they interact with each other, but I do think that they should be aware of the message it relates to fans and how it affects them, whether it be how the fans perceive themselves or how they perceive ENHYPEN as a group. On the other hand, if these comments do bother Sunoo, I hope he is speaking to the boys about it behind the scenes, that they apologize to him, and that this behavior stops, because no one deserves to have their weight or just their overall physical appearance be a running joke, whether they're friends with the people making the jokes or not. So that's all that I have to say on this situation between Sunoo and ENHYPEN. As always in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this is just playful banter that unfortunately shouldn't been said live on Vlive? Or do you see an issue being that this seems to be a reoccurring theme in ENHYPEN? We can only speculate how Sunoo feels, but like I said in the comments below, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and also make sure to subscribe. I would also recommend that you guys join my Discord server. It's a great safe space to just talk about K-pop, whether it's about music or more serious issues like these. The link will be in the pinned comment. We've actually been discussing this situation off and on since it happened in the server, so feel free to join in. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
생일 축하합니다. 사랑하는 선우의 생일 축하.